Whew, goodness. All right, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are, however you are. Let's go to this. What's up? What's up? Whoa, that was startling. My own voice. 8 p.m. Roger that. Take some time off. It's all good. Everyone needs a break. I could definitely use a break by now, honestly. I can already tell I need a break or a vacation or something. My goodness. Yo. What's up? Big Connect. Alright, Connor. Sleep easy, brother. I appreciate you. It's funny, I'm just crawling out of bed. Nah, I do need y'all to bear with me 1 second. I need to fan through my charts here and then check a couple messages, but we'll let people flow in, and then it's 3:06 right now. It's probably 3:10. We'll get started on BTC. Maybe we'll talk strategy, look at a few coins, and then we'll shut down. We'll restart for the Blockcircle gang only. And then we can get the low caps and talk about our plans for the coming weeks, coming months, all that good stuff. Alright, so I'm going to fan through these. Just give me a minute here, and I'll try to get the questions and all that stuff too. Overall, though, man, I gotta agree with my opinions from a couple of weeks ago or a week ago or whatever, but it seems the risk appetite in the market is kind of drying up. I mean, stuff can still move off the lows, of course, but yeah, the risk appetite definitely seems to be drying up, and I think it's because people are anticipating a first kind of lower low, lower high combo that we haven't seen in a while. So I guess that'll really depend if we actually end up making a lower high in this kind of 30,000 to 31K range. And if we do make a lower high in there, then I'm expecting risk to really be dry until maybe later on in the year. So probably time to hunker down soon. Make sure the stuff you really like for the long term, or maybe consider taking profits or getting the heck out. Thankfully, a good majority of the stuff I'm in heavy is stuff I'm okay holding for a while. Oh, OXO with the move off the lows. Whoa. A-Tor $10 soon. Now that's the kind of energy I want in here. That's the kind of stuff I'm happy holding into next year. Good, Arthur, Brandon. Got Crypto Dicky in the chat. Let's go. Crypto Barbie here, right on. Yeah, A-Tor is definitely banging, dude. Let me grab it right here. This one's heat. If I can raise some more capital, and if we get less than 40 again, I'm probably gonna double down. Like, I'm feeling really good about this one. The talks I've had with the team have been really positive, and they're talking to the right people, and the tech is looking juicy. They sent me a little picture of the stuff they're working on, and I'll be real, I'm not like I'm a computer guy, but I'm not like a computer guy. You show me a motherboard with circuitry and all that shit, I'm not gonna be like, oh, that's this, that, and that, but they look very impressive, I'll say. What's up, GitHub? Has Bitcoin surprised you this week? Not really. I mean, it hasn't really done anything. It's kind of doing as expected. Over 50 million, just bridges base without being able to bridge back. No, I mean, I guess that's a good point. But what else, right? What else is popping right now? Like, you know, usually there's about a dozen things popping at once, and now the only thing people talking about today is the bald or whatever. Like, that's it, right? All the risk into the one coin. You know, it's not like when Pepe was going, there was like 30 Pepe things going at once. Now it's just like bald and what? There was like the duck coin shit. Like, I mean, there's not really that much. But hey, I'd be happy to misread it. I'd be really happy if the risk appetite is not drying up. But I don't know. To me, it seems like people are kind of beginning to anticipate a move lower in BTC. But perhaps not. Anyways, let me finish through these charts here. Oh yeah. I wanted to see if OXO had an announcement or something. No, just a natural bounce. Wow, very nice. Right. Might get my 20-cent buy on dark again. Okay. Damn, Wagey getting hammered. Feels bad, man. My guess is that means Unibot is probably getting hammered too. Yeah. Okay. Hilo looks good. Vbot looks pretty good. Xbot returning to life. Omnia looks kind of weak. Opera looks weak. Tau looks weak. Mbot looks weak. Okay. Little dump on Smardex. Man, now that's something that has not pulled back at all, man. I really would like a Smardex pullback. Like a real one, more than just whatever these dumps are, like 15% or whatever. Like, give me a 50% pullback on Smardex. That would be sweet. What's up, Tony? Thanks for tuning in, homie. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I'd be happy to be wrong. Because while I'm alright sitting through some drawdown on a lot of my stuff, thanks to a pretty phenomenal year, I'd much rather just have another great couple of months. But, you know, if we gotta sit through some drawdown to make more money in the next year, I mean, you know, that's fine by me. I'm feeling extremely patient right now. And my risk tolerance is feeling extremely high. Yeah, I'm with you on that, dude. I genuinely see this as like billion-dollar tech. And people will be like, what reason do you see for that? Why would it be worth $1 billion? Well, you know, why would Cardano be worth $100 billion? Why would Ripple be worth $100 billion? But they were. You know, Cardano didn't do anything. It was worth $100 billion. It wasn't even like anything significant. It just, hey, look, $100 billion. So, to me, that kind of screams good tech. Good teams can get their projects to $1 billion if the appetite in the overall market is there. And I think it will be. Good morning, BitJewel. Ooh, BitJewel. Thanks for tuning in, homie. Everyone's going to on-cabin trading? What does that mean? Hopping in Blockcircle tonight? Nice, dude. Would love to have you. Have I heard about Tigris on ARB? What do you mean by that? Was there some news? Or you just ask if you're asking if I heard it in general? Yeah, we've Blockcircle gang's been in since the beginning, basically. This is actually, I think, my biggest bag right now. Let me check the spreadsheet. Let me update it since it's kind of dumping. Yeah, it's my biggest bag right now, actually. I got 14% of the account in it. This is one of the ones I am holding pretty much indefinitely. You know, if I can get some, if we dump hard, I get free cash, then I'll add cheaper. But, yeah, this is definitely one of my favorite bags. And just perpetual swap dexes in general, I think are going to be extremely popular going into next year. Hello, what's up, James? Genie among others. Yeah, I got Genie here somewhere. It looks okay. It looks okay. Doesn't look spectacular, but it definitely looks okay. I think I'm still rocking like 20% of my size or something, 25. So I'll probably just trail that out with the weekly higher lows, and as you can see, there's been no time to develop. So at some point, Genie will form a weekly higher low, and if it ever moves up again, then I'll start trailing out my stop with these weekly higher lows on the moon bag. And we'll see how far that takes us. It might take us pretty far. It might take us to fucking zero. But I'm trying to be a little bit more consistent about some of these moon bags. I have a few moon bags from earlier this year I should be holding that I've already cut. And I'm really trying to commit to holding a little bit of everything that I've had into next year, because you just really never know. Some of this stuff can die basically completely and then come back in 100x next year. And some of this stuff can die and just never come back, you know. Everyone's going to on-chain trading. Oh, yeah, for sure, dude. Yeah, I mean, if you're not trading on-chain this year, you're probably having a pretty boring year, if not a pretty bad year. I mean, January was pretty good. You know, you had a lot of stuff rally hard with Bitcoin at the start of the year. Like, you had a nice 3x on Lido. I think whatever this is, SNX had a nice year, little 2x. Matic kind of got shreked. What a clean, damn, I should have shorted that, except I don't really like shorting. I think, honestly, if you guys are looking for a hedge in the market, I think Matic is one of the best hedges in the market right now. Like, you have this really clean rollover, new lower low, lower high pattern, and now as soon as this little trend rolls over here, this shit's toast. So if there was anything I would look to short, it would probably be Matic. You know, it looks like it's just gonna slow grind its way to freaking death. I mean, this looks horrible. Oh yeah, Stacks had a good start to the year. That was probably the best centralized exchange runner, right? Other than, you know, maybe a random ass coin. ARB, I mean, you had the ARB stuff. Cardano's dead. ACH was good. Oh, what was that other one? What was that other Chinese coin? It started with a C. It wasn't Sex, was it? No. What was it? CHE? No. There was one more, I can't remember, but yeah, well, we'll peep at Tropica. It looks fine. It's been doing this crazy PA between 95 cents and $1.50 since like 3 weeks ago. I think personally this is gonna have at least one kind of deeper dip. I might actually add to this one. This is one that I'm pretty heavy on, but if we get cheap enough, I think I'd add to this one because $2 million market cap circulating is just bonkers. If they actually put out a good game, which so far it looks like the game's pretty good. Am I using stop losses at all? For my on-chain stuff, not really. I mean, like, there's some stuff I would cut if we broke certain levels. Like, they'll probably hit a point, and this happens quite often for me. When shit gets really shreked, I start to really think about, man, do I really want X, Y, and Z bag? And I might just cut a bunch of random stuff that I'm not really as committed to. But for the most part, a lot of my bigger stuff that looks good, like Tigris and like Unibot, I really like to hold this stuff as long as it's making long-term higher lows. And for me, that is weekly candle higher lows. And some of this stuff has just come up so fast that you've really not had a chance to make a higher low. Like Tigris, one of the only ones that's really actually made a real higher low. You know, but even then, that higher low is basically at zero, you know, so like if Unibot did something like, you know, like this, right? Well, then I might have a real trailing stop to work with. But for now, I mean, Unibot could retrace to under $100 easily and still be very, very bullish for the long term. So, you know, it's hard for me to put stop losses on stuff that I'm really trying to let play out over a longer time frame. because there's going to be stuff that has significant pullbacks, you know, 75, 80% that will go on to do another 10x, 50x in the next 12, 18 months. But if I puke it now, I might save myself 30, 40% before the real bottom, but the chances of me actually buying back the bottom and on the same size is pretty low. I'll either probably forget about it or allocate elsewhere. And, you know, so I'm really trying to commit to a lot of this stuff that I have that I really like. Some of the stuff, again, like I said, we'll probably get a pullback like this, and I'll realize, you know what? I don't really care about some of these things, and I'll probably dump them, and then we'll bottom out at the Pico low. This happens time and time again, but a lot of the stuff I really do want to hold for a while. Yeah, Matic looks garbage. What's up, Rodrigo? I'm doing great, brother. How you doing? INJ. Oh yeah, that was pretty popular for a while. I think it looks terrible now, though, doesn't it? Ooh, actually, it still looks pretty good. I mean, that's one of the best looking coins I've seen on centralized exchanges. Damn! That might be the hardest runner. 700%, wow. Well, I guess technically Pepe was the hardest runner because it did hit on centralized exchanges, but CFX, that's the one. That's the one. How's that held up? Yeah, that sounds about right. See, to me, doesn't it kind of seem like Bitcoin's at like this kind of point? I bet the bands are right there too. Yeah, like genuinely, that's kind of where BTC feels. You know? Like, in that kind of, not really. A little bit similar though. Like we're about to just do this number. Something like that. And if this happens, I mean, as great as on-chain trading is on the way up, it will get hit twice as hard on the way down. Just because a lot of it is more illiquid. It's just kind of the natural way of things. And that's why every week there's going to be a post and trades channel talking about make sure you're paying yourself. You know, if you're the guy who's had a great year, but you haven't taken something to the bank all year long after all the plays, you gotta pay yourself. Like the worst case, you pay yourself and you know what, we bottom out and we just keep ripping. I mean, ideally you leave enough on that if we keep ripping, you're happy, but you take enough that if we roll over, you're not feeling like you ran the whole portfolio back, you know? And that's kind of how I'm doing it. You know, I'm leaving enough on that if we pull back harder, obviously I'm gonna lose some gains. You know, that's all part of the process. But if we keep going, I'm still gonna be plenty exposed. And I'm not going to be FOMOing in because I'm already going to have bags that I like, you know. Any new thoughts on Esper? I'm choosing to ignore it since I probably sold the Pico bottom. So I'm simply pretending that it does not exist. But from what I could tell, I think it looks fine, right? Didn't the devs address the FUD, I believe. And I think they've got some pretty good amount of users. So I think Espresso looks pretty good. Yeah, ACH had a good year. Conflux, is that the name of this one? I never even learned the name, just the ticker. But this one looks pretty good. It's probably toast though, let's be honest. Solana ecosystem plays you like? I've got to be real, man. I don't know jack shit about Solana ecosystem plays. I mean, has there been any? Like someone told me there was a 2x on Solana Eco the other day. I couldn't believe it. So sorry. Unfortunately, I don't really have any alpha on Solana. I've just not really ever been involved there. What does Bitcoin need to do by end of month to be to be a higher high? I mean, a lot. A lot. First, you're gonna have to not make a lower high in here, anywhere up to like 31K. I mean, you'd really have to recover basically all this dip and then keep making higher lows above like 31. And I think that's going to be pretty tricky. I'm definitely not expecting that. I would welcome it, but I'm definitely not expecting it. So you're going to have to clear this whole general area. Or else, you know, I'm not going to be that confident that we're not just going to make a lower high and continue lower. So big day for Kakan, I think. No, I do follow them. I haven't really paid too much attention in the near term. I kind of just got my bag and I'm hunkering down, but the chart looks kind of rough. I'll definitely say that. But you know, we're allocated here from back here, so I'll probably just hold on tight. We got some news coming or something? Oh my gosh, I should have eaten before stream. Oh, I'm starving. Audio gone. Well, it means I gotta test it. I gotta hear my voice here. Well, it means I gotta test it. I gotta... Nope. I think we're still good. Nixera. I do like Nixera. That's definitely one I would like to add to. Absolutely. I've been hoping to get under 0.06. Tomorrow, final doc signed. Casino goes live. Ooh, that's exciting. Very cool. Do you hold any L2s? Not that I know of. I'm definitely bullish on them overall. I just think there's going to be higher risk reward plays out there, personally. So, no, I'm not super involved in L2s. Well, you got a fan favorite? Come on, lay down the thesis, brother. You know, should I be holding L2s? Thoughts about base? I genuinely know zero things about base. I've heard of the name, and I know that that one coin went up like a bajillion% today on it. But I don't know anything about it, to be honest. I mean, I think it really all happened overnight, right? And I just woke up like 30 minutes ago. So I've not had time to look at it yet, to be honest. Thoughts on Seer? We can peek at Seer later, yeah. Rocket Vault? I like Rocket Vault. I'm definitely coping though because I missed out on the whole run. I should have been in at 10 cents when Capo got in, but Rocket Vault or VF, right? Yeah. Yeah, so I'm definitely coping on this one. I'm really hoping I can get a pullback under like 20 cents. And I'd be pretty happy to scoop some of this down here. I think the product is nice, very user-friendly, very noob-friendly. I think it's good. It's good stuff. Look at OP. Testing the underside of pi on the daily. I think it's about to roll over, brother. Personally, I think this is probably where it peaks out. But it's just not my kind of trade here. Like, I'd rather be trading this when the weekly looks good again. You know? Once we can get a new trend emerging above, like, this general region, yeah, oh, but it's higher than the bottom, blah, blah. Like, that's okay with me, you know? I'd rather buy a real trend. For me, this just looks like a dead cat bounce. And you're already 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 weeks off the low. I don't know. Not my kind of play. Not my kind of play at all. When are we going to buy Woo again? I do still have a very, very small amount of Woo. But is this still up to date on QOB? I think so. I think the Woo play is, if you like the project, just get a good average cost, you know, somewhere under 20 cents, and then hold out for next year. You know, I don't think, I mean, you could try and trade this around if you want, but I think there will be soon a pretty good dip buying opportunity in this general region. I think you just buy here and you look to sell new highs next year. I think that is like the only play for Woo trade. And as far as centralized exchanges go, I mean, this is definitely the one I like the most. Like, they got the least amount of BS behind them. So, yeah, I do still like Woo Trade, and I especially like the team and the people that work there. I think they're really outstanding people. Base was built on optimism. Perhaps they collect a portion of base fees. Oh, okay. That's cool. Well, then, yeah, maybe. I mean, I guess if the base hype continues, maybe OP does go on a little run. Nixera partner with $30 billion company. Oh, really? Wow. I mean, hey, Capo does not miss. And the nice thing about Nexera is it's giving a fantastic opportunity to build a position. Like, come on. You know, maybe we go lower towards 4 cents or something, but imagine seeing this. How long has this been? Just months of this and not building a position when we might end up, you know, off the chart. So, yeah, I mean, it's basically been sideways at this price all year long. And it will probably continue the rest of the year. A lot of people hyping up ARB. I do think there will be an ARB season again, for sure. I mean, people... Think about all the people that were hyping it up at the start of the year. And when everyone was hyping it up the most was like March. And we topped out. So I think people have forgotten about it. And that's why my main crypto bet right now is Tigris, a perp dex on Arbitrum. I think this is going to be one of the best plays in the next year. Going to take some time to, you know, got to let it cook. But I'm happily exposed to Arbitrum for sure. Look at UnityBot. We can look at UnityBot. Ox. MTE we'll look at. Thoughts on Shibarium? I don't know. To me, Shibarium seemed like kind of a flop, personally. Is it like... I don't know. Maybe I'm just falling behind, but it seems like kind of a flop. Costs. We can look at costs. CSPR. A0. POF. Okay, we got a lot of stuff we want to look at. I want to go ahead and get into BTC. I know, boring, blah, blah, blah. But I want to do a top-down. Got to stay consistent. We can't ignore Bitcoin. And then we'll maybe look at a handful of these coins, and then we'll restart stream for Blockcircle guys, and we can look at some more low caps and all that good stuff, okay? So let's go ahead. Let's see what we're working with on BTC. Not too much change since the last stream on Tuesday. But like I said, we got to remain consistent. We got to talk about the risks with BTC because... it's looking a little bit heavy, though as long as we're trending above this monthly 8 EMA, I don't think there's any real cause for concern over the intermediate term. But anything below 26-ish is going to start looking pretty rough, okay? I got to sneeze, hold on. Ooh, goodness. So, main causes for concern on BTC, definitely failing to get above this general level. Not so good. Monthly cycle getting very high. Not so good. Momentum is still on the negative side. Below 0 on the CCI. And it's starting to kind of fade. Right, we're kind of losing that momentum that we had the first half of the year. Which is not, you know, the end-all be-all. Maybe it just means we're slowing down a little bit. Maybe we'll pick back up later in the end of the year. But it could definitely mean that we're going to get a little bit of a cycle lower into the holiday season. You know, I think that would be pretty reasonable. That would make the most sense for me. The alternative is that we just kind of stay extended into the end of the year and that we keep kind of consolidating rising, and then maybe we get a pullback either prior to halving or, I mean, I guess we could rally all the way to the halving. I don't really see that happening, but that's kind of the route that happened in 2016. You know, we didn't really ever break the 8 EMA on the monthly. We just kind of chopped for months on end. That's definitely the most bullish outcome we could get here, is just more chop in this range and everyone copes because they're waiting on 20K or something like that. That would be the most ideal. I don't think that's what's going to happen. I think we're going to see a bit lower, but you know, I'm happily allocated. Thought we had done BTC. No, I've just been popping around all the different charts people are talking about. How active is Blockcircle? Very active. Like, wake up in the morning, hundreds of messages to get through in trades chat. I mean, it's as active as it's ever been. I'll definitely say that. I'll say there's a decent bit of noise, you know, stuff in there that's not really worth paying attention to, and we got to work as a team. We got to work on being more clear about what we're talking about and which channels we're putting stuff in. So, you know, it definitely takes time. You know, there's definitely takes a lot of time to get through everything, but extremely active. You know, if you're looking to be a degen on chain, you're going to have plenty of people to talk to. Very Gauge. The guy's a legend. Is he really? Oh, I see what you're talking about. Yeah, gotcha, yeah. Yeah, no, very active in there. But anyways, yeah, guys, just in case that we do get this pullback into the end of the year, I'm gonna say it again, make sure you've paid yourself if you've had a good year, right? You know, I've taken out a very nice chunk to the bank once, maybe twice this year, and I'll probably pay myself once more by the end of the year, and then I'll just, you know, be holding on to everything else. But, you know, if you haven't done that in some fashion, you're probably going to want to do that, you know. I mean, unless your risk appetite is just ridiculous. I consider mine pretty high, and even I've paid myself. And what the only downside to paying yourself is, yeah, if we keep rallying, you know, you're not going to make as much as you would have. And if crypto does well in the next year, I mean, that's just kind of the natural pace of things, right? If you pay yourself and we do keep getting a crazy crypto run in the next year or two, obviously whatever you took out is not going to make more money than if you left it in, sure. But the reason you pay yourself is if we get something like this, you're not going to feel quite as bad as if you just left everything on the table, right? And personally, I mean, I don't mind some pullbacks. You know, I'm okay with having some drawdown. It's all part of the process. It's all part of my plan. But I don't want to run everything back. You know, it's been a good year. I'm trying to keep a good portion of my gains, at least. How long does it take to get in Blockcircle? I want to hop in the live today. It's hit or miss, dude. I mean, the live will probably be in the next 40 minutes, and my business partner, Basil, is the one who does onboarding. He might get to you by then. You know, I can shoot him a message real quick and see if he's around. I'll let you know if he's around. And if he's around, he'll onboard you in, you know, 10, 15 minutes probably. Does buying into something else with profits the same as going to the bank? Absolutely not. No. Buying into something else with profits, you're keeping risk, right? You know, if I made 100% gains and I throw it into something else and then I lose 75% on the second coin, that's not the same as me taking it to the bank and not losing anything other than, you know, small percentages from inflation or whatever, right? Like, so no, paying yourself, to me, paying yourself is at the bare minimum sitting in stables. But if stuff is in stables for me, in a heartbeat, I can put that in an asset. You know, I can go buy something, I can put on some risk. If I take it to the bank, it's a lot harder for me to gamble that money away. And I've been very consistent since the top of the bull run about not sending any money back from the bank. So if I send it to the bank, I'm probably not going to send it back, you know? So at least if my crypto portfolio takes a 50% hit, the money in my bank's going to take nothing, you know? And that for me is very big. You know, I can definitely be a lot more comfortable with losing some of my open profits from this year if I've taken cash to the bank. So no, very different. General time horizon for your recent plays. Honestly, most of my recent plays, I'm looking to hold for months, right? Like my general thesis for crypto revolves around a post Bitcoin halving rally, 2024 into 2025. Okay, and that is something I'm really trying to stick to. Until I see reason not to, I'm trying to stick to that for most of my plays. You know, you have to kind of adapt. Some of your plays are not going to be the move into next year, so there will be stuff I'll probably cut before then. But for the most part, I'd say about at least half of the stuff I have, I still really like going in the next year. A lot of the stuff, and I made a whole post about this recently, I would not buy it again if I was not already in. But of the half that I really like, I'd say at least 75 to 80% of that I'm very comfortable holding into next year. There's a couple of bags, you know, that I'm kind of a little bit nervous about, but for the most part, I'm pretty happy with what I've gotten, and especially the recent stuff. Like, what's some of the more recent stuff? Like Wagey. You know, Wagey's seeing a bit of a pullback right now, but I'm pretty confident in the whole Unibot meta continuing, even if Unibot has, you know, a multi-week pullback or a multi-month month pullback even, I think that a lot of the beta plays to Unibot are going to have a really great year next year. So pretty comfy with that. Dark is another one that's kind of along the same meta. I think that still is going to be a very nice play. The team seems to be working very hard with their MEV bot. So yeah, no, I'm feeling pretty good about most of my recent plays. I think that it's going to be something that I need to be patient with, right? I'm not trying to get super antsy, you know, so that's why I would not be blindly following me if you do not have the same time horizon, outlook, however you want to put it, as me, right? Because you might not be wanting to hold some stuff for months on end, right? Especially if I'm putting 2 or 3% of the account in, you're throwing 20% of the account in, you're going to want to play that a lot differently than I am, right? Happy with B-Bank? Yes, very happy with B-Bank. I think the product is really nice. I think at a $3 million market cap, it's kind of a no-brainer. I might add to this one. I'm not sure yet. I've got pretty good size on the table, but I guess if we got really close to my original entry down here, I might would add like 25% size or something. But yeah, I'm not too sure. I might just hold what I've got and see how it plays out. I mean, the long-term chart for this one is bonkers, right? Like the goal of this is that we leave this accumulation range eventually and we don't come back, right? Until then, the play from entry is still the same play. You know, the play from $2 million market cap is the same play at $3 million market cap, right? But anyways, let me wrap up on BTC here before we go further. So yeah, last time I'll say it, guys, but make sure you've paid yourself if you have had a good year, because you'll be glad you did if we get, you know, multi-week, multi-month pullback, right? You'll be like, well, you know, I'm taking some losses on recent stuff, but at least I paid myself, right? It's not going to be a negative year for me, at least, okay? On the weekly, we're getting kind of the same signals that we had on the monthly, right? We're kind of getting this bull div across momentum, across our stochastic. It's looking like things want to roll over. But best case scenario, we hold right around this weekly 8 EMA, maybe go sideways for a little bit, reclaim 31K, and then move higher. That is best case scenario. Worst case, we lose this 8 EMA, the 8 EMA rolls over, and we start to trend below it until later on in the year. And I'm definitely leaning more towards that, but you know, we'll just take it 1 week at a time. It looks kind of weak. Ideally, we stay above 25K. Okay, you really don't want to see this trend of higher lows, higher highs break. Okay, that is definitely the second most ideal. Least ideal, obviously, is breaking 25K, making weekly lower highs, and then we might have to be, you know, hunkering down all the way into next year for a pre-Bitcoin halving rally or something. So I would definitely be open to any of these situations happening. I think they're all of equal possibility. Blacksmith, oh yeah, we were in the Blacksmith pre-sale. I sold all mine for a small dub. I haven't really looked at it since it launched, or since the tokens were all released, so I don't really know much about it. I've heard it's done decently well lately, right? But probably not something I'll be allocated to again. Personally, I've got enough Telegram bot exposure. I've got at least 4 or 5 different, you know, bags that are related to that meta. So I think of the 5, I've got, you know, Wagey, Dark, Omnia, Inbot. I think at least one of them will do really well and make up for all the losses of the other. But I'm not really trying to have any more, I think. I'm pretty happy with my exposure to that sector, you know. But anyways, more on BTC. We're seeing the same thing on the daily we're seeing on the weekly and the monthly, where that best case is, oh my gosh, dude, my cat is going crazy. Please relax. That if we hold right here at the bands in the daily, you know, right at this weekly 8 EMA, maybe we can bounce to like low 30Ks, and then I think from there we'll probably roll over. And then that best case is we reclaim that and we make higher lows above it. and we keep going. That is the only good scenario for Bitcoin right now. Otherwise, I think we're going to end up down in the 26, 27K range, most likely. That's what I'm leaning towards, at least. So this next cycle higher on the daily, right? This is kind of the chance for it to prove itself. But if we can't really clear this mid 30K region with a lot of strength, you know, a candle like this or something, then I think things look a little bit iffy in the near term. Yeah, so sold my blacksmith for a 3x. Nice. Dev's AWOL still? Really? That's not good. I mean, I'm not that surprised, but yikes. Let me text my my girlfriend back here real quick. You know, gotta sweet talk her a little bit. Yeah, thanks, homie. Discord bot exposure. I have some actually. I forgot. I have ASAP. I believe this is Discord bot exposure. I took a little off the plate on this push up, but you know, I've still got. This is still one of my bigger bags. Let me check the spreadsheet here. I think this is like my 8th or 9th biggest bag or something like that. Yeah, still pretty heavily exposed there. And I think this is a pretty good project. I'm honestly surprised at the strength it had the last week or two. I kept wanting a reason to cut it, but then the apes would come in and keep buying it up, so I'm still holding on. I think it looks pretty good. Supposed to launch end of month if it doesn't main nuke. Yeah, I just don't think it's worth it for Blacksmith personally, but, you know, I guess we'll see, right? Anyways, the final thoughts here on BTC. The 4 hour is kind of the same thing as the daily and the weekly. We're on the last level of support in the near term before a kind of a giant gap, aka no man's land, as I like to call it, where it would be very surprising to hold at any, you know, exact level until we get down to like mid 26s. So one more time, guys, if you haven't paid yourself, you deserve it. So, you know, get to it. Dude, yeah, that 8-hour photo was fire, dude. That was so cool. Felt like I'm in a damn movie. Would you buy at 26K? I wouldn't buy Bitcoin because I'm not really, you know, I'm not really one to go heavy into Bitcoin. Bitcoin to me is just something you add if you want muted volatility in your portfolio. You know, if you expect the market to nuke hard and you're in Bitcoin, you're going to take a lot smaller loss than you are if you're in pretty much any other asset. So if you're looking to mute the volatility in your portfolio, then yeah, I think Bitcoin exposure makes sense on the dip. But personally, if we pull back, you know, most of the stuff I really like is already at valuations that I really like them at. So if we pull back to 26K, you know, they're going to be at valuations I like minus 70%, right? So I'll probably just nibble on stuff that I already have that I like. And yeah, that's probably the game plan. I'm getting to the point where I talked about this in the chat. I'm kind of done adding, new bags to my portfolio. Like, it's got to be really nice. It's got to be really, really enticing for me to add another position. I'd rather just look at what I got, accumulate more of what I really like, and then just be happy with that. Because, you know, I've got exposure to like 8 to 10 different kind of sectors or subsectors of crypto, if you will. And I don't want to overcrowd my portfolio. And I've already done that a little bit. You know, I've probably got 10 to 15 more bags than I would like. But it's kind of hard to part ways with them. You know, I want to try and give them a chance, you know, see if they're going to be able to recover in the next year or not. So, Yeah, I'll probably just be adding to existing positions if we get a big pullback. A fat bullish breaker I'm keeping an eye on. Which one are you talking? Are you talking about Bitcoin? Like the 31K or microcaps tied to BTC as much? Absolutely. I mean, yeah, they can still run without BTC, but a big reason microcaps are going so hard is because Bitcoin has been sideways for so long, right? If Bitcoin's nuking, I would expect, ooh, looks like we're puking right now. If Bitcoin nukes hard, then there is an extremely high chance microcaps are going to follow, and they're probably going to follow really hard. Because think about it, right? Like, you're up massively on Unibot, and I've talked about this plenty of times. You're up massively on Unibot. Bitcoin's dumping. Oh shit, I'm losing money on Bitcoin if you have Bitcoin. Or you have Ethereum, or you have some other high caps. Like, dang, I'm starting to lose money there. I got to take profits where I'm not losing money. So people sell Unibot. Oh shoot, people are selling Unibot. Well, maybe I should take profit on some Unibot. And then, you know, oh shoot, is the Unibot meta starting to crash? Well, I better take some risk off of Wagey, right? And then everything is just going to crumble together. That's just kind of how it goes, right? Like, anything that's still up when everything's nuking is going to get profits taken on it for the most part. So it's going to be very, very difficult for any kind of microcap to maintain an uptrend while everything else is nuking. It's definitely possible. We saw it with OXO earlier in the year, right, where BTC pulled back really hard in March, and OXO did not really pull back that hard. But I think it's a very rare thing. Like, that doesn't typically happen. 28K bullish breaker. Yeah, I mean, I get that. I mean, this was very significant for sure, but like, once we lose these lows, it's so hard for me to pick any one spot where it could hold. You know, this was such a swift move from 26 to like 30 that, you know, I feel like anywhere in this general range is kind of fair game, right? So I'm not really willing to pick one specific spot where it's definitely going to hold here. You know, I think it's for sure going to hold here. Like, I don't really know, you know? If a pullback is most likely, would it make sense to wait for the pullback before entering any of the coins you've been talking about? I definitely think that makes sense. Yeah. Like, but you know, that's the gamble, right? Are you gonna get the pullback you're looking for before entering, or are we gonna recover? You're gonna wish you had exposure. You're gonna decide, all right, screw it. I'm just gonna buy some now because I think we're looking good. Shit. You know, it's like, at what point do you just say the risk is worth it for me here? Right? Like, for me on Wagey, would I rather be exposed in this general region and just have a position, and then whether we go up or down, I know I don't got to worry about missing out, right? I'm definitely going to make money if it goes up at some point. Or do I want to say, you know, I'm not really going to want to suffer this kind of drawdown. I'm not really willing to wait that long, and I'm not so confident that we're going to go up before we go lower. I'll just wait and see if we get the big pullback. And that's just something you got to decide for yourself, right? For me, my risk tolerance is very high, and I'm feeling extremely patient. So I'm okay, you know, buying something like Wagey here and then just waiting for it to come to fruition, right? And, you know, either it does, or either it doesn't, and it just fizzles out and it never does anything ever again. For me, this is a much clearer bet, right? I buy, I wait, I either make money or I don't. I don't got to worry about timing anything. I've got a good, reasonable entry, right? You know, I'm not entering at the bottom. I'm also not entering at the top, right? I'm kind of right in the middle. If it ever moves up, I make money. I don't really got to stress about it. And that, for me, is much more desirable than, you know, I really like the coin. I don't really want to stress about having to buy the exact bottom, even if it's, you know, only 30, 40% lower. But for some people, depending on how much you're going to allocate to it, you know, for me, just a few percent of the account, it's not that stressful. But if you're looking to put 10% of the account in, then yeah, it might be worthwhile waiting for this intermediate term trend to kind of fizzle out, right? You want to see some strength in this trend, right? You want to see it break out of this downtrend first. Okay, so unfortunately, that's not really a decision I can make. You're just going to have to decide, you know, how you want to play, right? And yeah, these are the Blockcircle bands, the waveform bands as we've dubbed them. and it's just a bunch of EMAs from 8 to 60, and then we've got the 200 regular moving average and pi down here at 314. But yeah, overall things are looking a little bit rocky, guys. I do think we're in for a little bit of pain into the end of the year, which makes sense. I mean, we've had an insane 6 months in Blockcircle. I mean, honestly, one of the best runs I've had in my entire life. So usually when we're getting to this point, I start to expect it to all fall apart, you know? And that's why I've been kind of trying to scream, take profits, make sure you paid yourself, because you don't want to have a great year and then run everything back to where you started, right? You know, if my portfolio equity looks like this, I'm okay running back some of it. You know, that's all part of the longer term process. But I definitely don't want to run it up and run it all the way back to where I started. And since I've paid myself more than my portfolio was worth entirely at the start of the year. And since I've done that, it's literally impossible for me to run back everything. You know, I might lose a lot of my open profits. I might give some of it back. That's expected. That's part of the plan that I set out with the start of the year. So I'm not going to wake up one day and we're going to be down here and I'm going to be losing my shit. Like, I mean, I might be like, oh my gosh, you know, holy shit. But at the end of the day, it's kind of expected. You know, I planned for it. So I'm never going to wake up in tears like I've given back everything I've made. Not going to happen. Likewise, if we wake up to this tomorrow, you know, I'm not going to have made more than if I didn't pay myself, but that's okay too. I'm just trying to reduce my risk a little bit. You know what I mean? And how you play it definitely depends as well on, of course, your risk tolerance and how much exposure you have to crypto. Like, I'm playing it differently than the last cycle, because last cycle, I mean, I was basically 100% net worth in crypto, minus 10% maybe. So, you know, almost completely exposed all throughout the bear market. You know, when the markets take 80% hit, my net worth takes 80% hit. Versus now, if the markets take an 80% hit, you know, I might lose 10% of my net worth, which is still very significant, but that's something I'm comfortable with, right? Like, that's something I'm willing to risk for the potential upside going into the following year or two. But if you're 100% net worth exposed and, you know, you're buying every coin that I'm buying and think you're going to handle it the same way I am, well, probably not. Because if I was 100% net worth exposed, I would not be all in low caps like I am right now. I'd probably have at least a 50% position in stables, right? And maybe more. Just because, I mean, you know, if you're all in low caps and Bitcoin dips 30%, your low caps are going to dip 80% and you're going to be down 80% net worth. And that is not something I'm comfortable with. 10 to 15% net worth swing, I got it. You know, I'm straight with that. 30, 40, 50% net worth swing, ooh, you know, that's starting to look kind of sketch, right? So you just got to kind of consider what works best for your overall portfolio, right? Okay, let's go ahead. Let's see, it's 4 o'clock. We'll look at some coins here for 15-20 minutes, and then we're going to shut down, and we'll start looking at the Blockcircle stream only, okay? Oh, shoot, Basil got back to me. Let me hit him up. All right, he is around, so if you want to sign up, you know, you'll probably get onboarded in time to join that stream, okay? And if not, I mean, the stream is posted in the chat, so the VOD will be up afterwards too, but I think he's around, so, you know, you should be good to join, and he should be able to get you in there very quickly, okay? Let's go golfing. I haven't been golfing in well over a year, man. So if you guys want me to look at some stuff, I can look at some stuff here for a little bit, and then we'll start. Looking at Blockcircle stream. CSPR, is that the right ticker? I'm not really seeing anything with liquidity here. Is it a sex coin? I guess it's this one, yeah. Doesn't look great. Does not look great. It looks kind of like Woo Trade right now, where if you like the asset, you're probably just better off getting a nice DCA in this general region and playing it safe for now. I mean, best case scenario, right? You continue making higher lows, and you make a higher low basically right here. So if that's the play you're going for, you know, you could be in here and you can cut if you lose this level. The only reason I don't like that kind of play is once you lose this level, you're getting into levels where I would kind of want to be DCAing long term, you know? So do you really want to be cutting here when the long-term buy might be right here? I don't know. That's why I don't really like the buy here, cut here play. Versus just, you know, maybe having very small exposure in here, and then you can build a better position if we get a dump. But, you know, I don't really know anything about this one, to be honest. PoFi, where is it? Here it is. Yeah, it looks okay. I mean, this is clearly the market is just waiting to see if they're actually going to launch their products and if those are going to have any interest. And for me, at $2 million market cap, it's kind of a no-brainer hold for me. That being said, you know, got to consider, you know, Blockcircle has been in since over here. So it's kind of easy when you're in at zero, right? The bet for me is just it doesn't stay at zero forever, right? Even if we pull back 50% from here, right? As long as it makes a higher low and the products come out and they're solid products, then later on in the year or in the next year, I'm expecting this to have a really good run. So for me, this is basically an indefinite hold. I will not be cutting if we lose X level at $1 million market cap or whatever, right? Like, I'm just betting that the product will be good, and that's all there is. That's all there is to it for me. A0. Maybe look at that. I'm guessing it's a sex coin. Ooh. Well, that's not pretty. That's not pretty at all. Definitely not the kind of trend that I really want to be buying into. I'd rather be buying stuff that's at least been in an uptrend versus something that's been in a downtrend all year. You know, maybe it's a lagger, maybe it's going to catch up at some point, but I'd rather buy when it's already started a trend, right? And you can just kind of bid strength instead of bidding weakness and praying that it works out for you. I don't know anything about the fundamentals of this. You know, if this is $2 million market cap, that's a different story. You know, you want to play a bet to zero, then I get it. But if this is 50 million, I mean, you know, a little bit higher risk, right? How long of a consolidation should we expect on Unibot? Well, Unibot started in like May at a penny, and now it's at $200 in 2 months. So I would not be surprised to see this go sideways for a couple of months at any given point, right? Like, would that be surprising, right? Going up 1,000x or whatever and then going sideways for a couple of months? I don't think so. So, you know, we might chop between like $80 to 200 all the way to the end of the year. Or we might just run it right back. I'm not really sure. My only game plan here is if we go higher, I'm taking profits. If we go really low, you know, like 80s, maybe 90, then I'll probably add to my position. That's the only way I'm playing this one. But I could definitely see this going sideways for months if the whole meta starts to lose traction. And especially if Bitcoin starts to dump. People made bank. There's some big holders in here that have made so much money that have not taken profits. If those guys ever start to just hammer in the 20 ETH sales over and over every day, that's going to be a lot of overside pressure, right? So, months of consolidation, dude. But you know, I can say that, but if we just keep ripping in this month, I mean, I'm gonna make money because I'm staying exposed because I'm not super confident that we're just gonna chop for months on end. I think it's just as likely that we just recover, make higher lows, and keep going, or that the people that have been holding this whole time starting to take profits, and we just roll over and we chop. So I'm kind of prepped for any scenario. I got cash, I'll buy cheaper if I can. I've got a position, I'll sell higher if I can, and if we just chop, I'll just keep holding and accruing the rewards. You know? PRTC, Cousin was saying it's a buy. Cousin's a smart guy. This is definitely one of my bigger positions. I think PRTC is like my 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10th biggest bag at the moment or something like that. Where is it? I just had it. Here we go. And yeah, I mean, I had hoped to add around 10 cents on this dip, but I was out and about. And when it came back, it was already up about 50%, so I've just been holding off. But if we get back into this zone, you know, my original entry was like 10 to 15 cents. So anything down here is a good buy for me. I think the fundamentals behind this are very good, and it's kind of the only NFT-esque exposure that I really have. So, and Kronos is backing this one, so come on, Kronos is a bunch of chads, you know, they're gonna do a good job. Rookie still holding 1.5 million Unibot, yeah. I mean, Rookie's got some pretty diamond hands, but he's not the only one sitting on big gains like that. So that's a lot of people that could be willing to take profits if the overall market starts to look weak, right? Have you tried X yet? I've not. I don't even know what that is, to be honest. I mean, I've heard Xcoin, but I don't, you know, I don't know what that is, to be honest. I'm guessing it's like a Telegram bot or something, probably, right? RevShare is pretty good. That's the thing. Unibot RevShare is so good that if I just gotta sit on it for a while, I'm gonna be accumulating more Unibot naturally because I have auto compounding on. So I'm kind of cozy just letting it play out, right? I've already taken off 80% of my position on the way up. So it's a guaranteed dub. If it goes to 0, it's a guaranteed dub. You know? If it goes up, I just sell more of what I have. If it stays sideways, I get revenue share. If it goes to a level I like, I can add back some of the profits I took off. Easy peasy. Hello. Hello. Crypto Entertainment Project. Some big partnerships. Hello. What a name. Is it Hello Kitty? Or Hello World? Which one of these? Or is it this one? Is it a BNB coin? I would hope not. Laylaps. Yeah, I've been hearing a lot in the woodworks about Laylaps. I've not taken a position. This will be the first time I've even looked at the chart. Yeah, I mean, it gives wagey vibes. You know, it kind of feels like the same bet as wagey. Right? Like, you're just betting that the beta plays to Unibot are going to pay out really hard when if Unibot begins to go sideways in a range, people might take some of the risk off Unibot and see if some of the beta plays can play catch up. So I think that's a fine play. What is it? $3 million market cap? I think it's a fine play. No, I did not look at Seer yet. Let's look at that. Is this one Seer Analytics? It looks decent, yeah. 400K market cap, really cheap. What's the spiel here, you know? Why does it go to $5 million market cap? That's the question, right? I feel like if they want profit, rev share is enough for the big whales. Possibly. That is definitely a possibility. A lot of these whales are okay just making a little bit each day on the revenue share. James Andy, my boy. What's good, brother? We will, for sure, look at ASAP right now for you, brother. Where is it? It's up here somewhere. There it is. This one has surprised me. This one has surprised me a lot. I really was not expecting so much strength. We actually bought more of this on this pullback, and I'm just not realizing, probably made a 10x on that play, even though I didn't sell the peak. I sold some in here somewhere, but I mean, yeah, it looks good. This is the Discord bot, I think. But their snipers had a lot of good plays. I definitely think this one's a worthwhile hold. I'm pretty heavily exposed to this one. Not drastic, but pretty heavily exposed. Oh, Unibot X, not X the coin. Yeah. No, I have not had a chance to try it. I'm sure if I pestered X-Curve about it, he'd probably give me access. But I just have not really... I've not really cared that much. But I've heard really good things. And it looks really good from what I've seen. And it definitely shuts up the people that are saying, who wants to trade out of Telegram? Well, one, a lot of people want to trade out of Telegram because I can do it on my phone really easily. And two, now that they've got a fully functioning web app, there's no more, oh, it's just a Telegram bot FUD, right? It's just a really good product. Coco, yeah. That's one I've been hearing a fair bit about, and I have not looked at all. I guess this is the right one. Killer run. You know, what did that go up? Like 30x from the lows or something? Really killer run. $6 million market cap. Probably still room for this one to keep pulling back, I would say. I don't really know the fundamentals behind this one, but chart looks a little bit exhausted, I'll say that. Seared is a Telegram analytics aggregator, first mover. Oh, okay. One-man team, a tad bit worrisome. But analytics aggregator, that could be a good first mover. I don't think that's something that I'm interested in personally, as I'm being very picky about new positions right now, but I mean, if it's truly a first mover and they have a product, then, you know, it might be worth more than 360K. But I think you probably get a better dip down here, to be honest. Currently, BNB chain. This one. I'm not a big fan of BNB. I hate trading on BNB, honestly. Nice run earlier in the year. What did that do? Like a 20x or something? ETH chain coming next month. I mean, what is this? I'm not sure what I'm looking at. Ugh. I kind of hate the website, to be honest, but that doesn't necessarily mean anything. Oh, we got some like games and stuff. Okay. My eyes hurt, but got a lot of partners. I wonder if this means anything. Like, does listed on CoinGecko mean you're a partner? I don't know. I don't got a great read on it, to be honest. What is it? $40 million market cap? That's gonna be a negatory from me, brother. I do think that there are better valuations out there, but it just depends, you know, is this something that's worth $100 million? I don't really know, you know, but for me, $40 million is a little bit expensive for whatever this is. But you don't want to 8 to 10% a year in stocks. I mean, if you're trading fat ass size, 8 to 10% a year in stocks is fine. I just can't imagine only having exposure to stocks. Like, even if you want to get your 8 to 10% a year on most of your size, for some size, you got to be degenning in crypto. Like, it's just so worth. All right, we can look at espresso. I can go see if I sold the bottom, which I probably did. 60% today, wow. Oh, yeah. Definitely sold the bottom. I sold in here somewhere. So missed out on a little 2 to 3x there. It's fully recovered from the big FUD dump. So, yeah, starting to look pretty good again. This one might be a good runner. I think their product is a really good idea. If they're getting users, then, you know, this is looking pretty damn good. But I don't know if I'll re-enter. I'm kind of a stickler about re-entering stuff I puked. But I think it does look pretty good, yeah. Like, I don't know. I haven't checked the like analytics on if they actually have a lot of users and fees and all that stuff. But assuming that there's people starting to use the product, then this probably does go on a pretty good run. You know, maybe a 3 or 4x from here or something. VRA. All right, this might be the last one I look at before we do Blockcircle stream. Unless I missed one. I don't think I missed any. That's a candle. What the heck? Oh my gosh. This is like is this veracity? Yeah. I haven't heard of this one in a while. It's still $40 million market cap. Google partnership. Is that a real thing? Or is that like one guy that works at Google mentioned our name once? I mean, these guys do got a lot of experience, I'll say that. But my big issue with these is I don't know what the VCs got in at, and I don't know, you know, this is a rec chart, right? But if a VC got in at $5 million market cap, he's probably happy still selling his, you know, his distributions for a 10x, right? So I don't know if this has the strength to recover right now. I just haven't. I don't know anything about it. But assuming all goes well, I mean, this is definitely your region to be building a position, right? You know, it's been sideways from like 0.002 to 0.01 all year long. So if you think that this is something that has a lasting effect in the market, I mean, this is your time to be building a position for sure. Many patents. Oh yeah. I know Plaza's been talking about this for a while now. I don't know. I don't really know what to think about this one. The veracity ecosystem, advertising stack for funding ad campaigns. It definitely seems very, very unique. I'll say that. But I don't think it's a play for me. I don't think I like it enough to add another position here. But if you like it, top esports, huh? Okay. But it definitely showed plenty of strength. You know, what 800% gains this year. Now it's fully retraced all that. So if you missed this run, if you liked it during this run, I don't see why you wouldn't like it at these levels right here. But really? Just now? Oh shit. Damn. Well, that's tragic. Anyone know the damage on curve? What's up, Blockcircle gang? How we doing? Doing great, my friend. Glad to see you here, Logan. Hope you're doing well. Alright, guys, so I'm going to look at UnityBot, and then I'm going to look at Wild or World, I think it's WorldCoin, and then WASDR. And that'll be it. That's the last one, okay? And then I'm gonna take a little, I think I'm going to need like 15, 20 minutes, because your boy's got to use the bathroom, all right? And then I will post a link in Discord, and we'll get started back up, and we can look at anything you guys want to look at. I got plenty of time today, so we can go for a Blockcircle stream for an hour, maybe 2 hours before wrapping it up. But I am going to need like a 15-minute break between this stream and the next stream, okay? All right, let's go ahead. UnityBot. Let's see what we got here. I think I've heard of this one. Woo! What a run. Looks like it's probably super illiquid. 50K liquidity. Interesting. I don't know what I'm looking at here. Oh, here we go. Collective buy-in. So what, does the protocol hold other coins or something? Oh yeah, so it's like it's like a trading bot where everyone's involved in the same trades, I guess. And that's an interesting idea. I mean, you're basically at the ground floor, right? If a narrative like this actually picks up, then I don't see buying 35 cents that much better than buying 20 cents. You know, if you think this is something that's gonna take off, I would just get some exposure, right, on any kind of dip. I mean, it's either gonna take off or it's gonna stay at zero forever, right? So if you think it's gonna take off, I would just get the bag. You know, only risk what you're willing to lose to zero. And, you know, that's that. Over 20 mil was hacked a few hours ago and 32 million more. Wow. Oh my gosh. The founder getting liquidated? Jeez, dude. That could definitely be a cascading event that takes all of crypto down for a little bit, for sure. Because there's a lot of money locked up in Curve. Wow. Wow. That's tragic. That stuff... That kind of stuff tends to always happen when you're on the edge of the abyss for Bitcoin, I swear. The big scandals, they never happen like here, right? They always happen like here or like here, something, right? So I'm honestly not that surprised, but that's a tragedy, man. That's a tragedy. But yeah, as far as UnityBot goes, I think this is an interesting idea. It's definitely been done a couple times before. I remember Unipump tried to do it back in 2020, and it had a killer run before fading to zero. I don't know if this has a lasting potential personally, but if you believe it does, I mean, like I said, you're at the ground floor, 300K market cap. I mean, maybe it goes to 200K, but you're at the ground floor nonetheless. All right, let's look at, what did I say next? Next was WorldCoin from my boy James Andy. No way, $400 million market cap? Only $1 million liquidity? Is this on Binance too? Yeah. Just let it be known, I don't know anything about this. I've heard about this for, you know, weeks now, but I don't know anything about it. I don't know, man. It doesn't look great, but there's not really that much information to go off of, right? I guess you're just kind of gambling that it's going to keep making higher lows. But, you know, how much are the VCs up? That's the question. What's the distribution schedule like? $400 million market cap? $1 million liquidity. Not the best ratio by any means. Definitely not the kind of play I'm interested in. Right, because you're not in on the ground floor. You probably have a ton of VCs that are going to be willing to take any gains they can get. I don't know. You know, you're basically gambling. Are the VCs going to, you know, push this to zero, or are they going to try and push it higher so their vested bags can get paid a lot more? I don't really know. Not the kind of play I'm interested in at all, to be honest. That's it. I don't know, dude. Not interested. Personally, not interested at all. Feel like it'll do an ICP. Definitely ICP vibes. Same thing. VCs were up dramatically, and they were happy to take profits every step of the way because it was free money. Right? And so I don't really care to ape in here. It's just not, it's not the kind of play I'm interested in. I like being the VC, right? When you buy something like UnityBot, that's 300K market cap, you're taking the bet the VCs are taking, except the VCs are a lot more confident that their shit's going to be pumped up to $400 million market cap. Like, when you buy UnityBot, you're the VC, you're taking on all the risk that this startup, basically, is going to play out. And the benefit is you're in at the literal ground floor. WorldCoin, you're not in at the ground floor. You're in at the peak, right? And that's just not the kind of play I'm very interested in. It doesn't mean it can't run, right? I'm not trying to FUD it or anything. It just, world team holds 98% of the supply. Well, that can be very good, actually, or that can be very bad. I don't know. Unibot dumpers. Oh, yep, there come those guys. There come those boys we were just talking about. Curves hacked. Oh no, is crypto gonna dump? I need to take some profits. And here they come, the 10 to 20 ETH sales. Just like I was talking about. It looks like they don't care about the revenue share. But it's a hold for me though. You know, 20% of my size left. It's been a good run. I'm happy to hold pretty much indefinitely, as I do think this will be a blue chip going into the next run. Oh, whew, I really gotta use the bathroom, lads. So we're gonna look at WASDR and we're gonna wrap up. If you got something else that you want me to look at, I'm afraid you're gonna have to join the Blockcircle stream, because I've only got so much time and my stomach is on fire. WASDR I do like. I have supported this one for a while. Where's the full chart? Here we go. This one is kind of like a bet to zero. I mean, it's gone sideways for 2 years now, right? So either it's gonna do something or it's not. I used to have a pretty big position in here, and I definitely cut that a long while ago, but I've still got a little moon bag. I think the project is good. They tout that they have a ton of users. I don't know how true that is, but I do think that eventually this is going to go on a pretty killer run. I think GameFi as a whole is going to have a really good run into next year. So if you like WASDR, this is the time, dude. I mean, you know, in the last 2 years, there's only been one time to buy this as cheap as it is now. So if you like the coin, I think it's time to shoot your shot. Maybe you can get, you know, 50% lower, but probably best to shoot your shot here, average down once if it goes lower, and then just wait it out if you like it. Okay. All right, lads, I'm sorry. I can't take it anymore. I gotta go use the bathroom. So we're gonna wrap up the public stream here. For those of you guys that are not in Blockcircle, but you still chose to tune in, I do appreciate you guys. I hope you found the stream to be helpful. For those of you that want a little bit more, or you want me to look at coins I don't have time for, that's what the next 2 hours are for the Blockcircle stream. So if you're not in there, I'm afraid that I won't have time for your coin today, but we'd love to have you in there. So if you're not in, do consider joining. And for those of you guys that are in, I will restart stream in about, let's shoot for 20 minutes. Maybe it'll be 10 to 15, but my stomach's on fire, so I definitely got to use the bathroom. But after that, we'll get started. We'll have a couple hours to talk about any coins that you guys want to look at. We can talk strategy, Q&A, whatever you guys want to do. And then, you know, we'll have you guys out of there in a couple hours, all right? So bear with me. I'll post the new link to in the trades chat and the live stream chat when it's good to go. Just give me a few minutes, and I'll get that started as soon as possible. Okay? So lastly, you know I gotta do it to it. Gotta thank my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. Without him, I am not here able to do what I'm doing. I'm not able to provide all that I can for you guys. So thank you, Jesus. All the glory to God. He's all we're doing it for. So thank you, and thank you to all you guys for tuning in. I will catch you guys in about 20 minutes, okay? All right, peace out. I'll see you guys soon.